Hey everyone, this is Nick Pappas and Jacob Weiss. What we're doing here is presenting the final version of our Blackjack game that we created for CS 301 and Dr. Matthews' class. What we have is a Blackjack game like we explained before. However, what we did this time was we revised some of the functions so that they work properly and the gameplay is just smoother. In the top left you can see we have the bank and the bet. In the top right we have our count function. So as I explained in the last video, you get +1 for a 2 through 6, a -1 for an ace through 10, and then those middle cards have a value of 0. We changed that so that the count function is actually working properly, and it takes the count after every hand is dealt. We also revised the double down function. So in the previous video what happened was I had double down and then I had the option actually to hit or stay. At a casino you don't have that option. What happens when you double down is that you have your two cards that are originally dealt, you double down, you double your bet. That means the dealer or the house gives you one more card and that's it. Whatever your value of your hand is, you have to stay. And previously I was actually able to hit or stay, so we changed that to fix the function so that it works like a real double down. And we tweaked around with a split function. However, it was working before. What we did was we just mitigated some errors that could have been popping up. And yeah, let's start playing to show you what's going on. So I bet 10. So as you can see, the count stays at 0. So it's going to stay at 0 until the next hand is dealt. So let's just calculate what our actual count is. So for 2 we have +1. For the queen we have a -1. For the 10 we have -1, and we don't know what this card is. So right now we have a count of -1. So I'm just going to stay to see what happens. Okay, so we are at -1. We had +1 with that 4, and then another ace was dealt, which is a -1. So our count should be -1, and then the 8 is worth nothing. So place my bet. So the count changed to -1. Now we're going to recalculate the count. -1 for an ace gives us a count of -2. King, -2. Or excuse me, is -1, so we have -3. The 2 is worth +1, so our count should be -2 for this next hand. Okay, place a bet. -2 is our next count. So after each hand is dealt, that's when it changes the count. So when each card is dealt, the count isn't changing, but at the end of the hand, the count function is working properly. So, I mean, we go through this one more time, but it's getting a little repetitive. Let's check out some of our other functions. So we have 18 here. We're going to stay. The dealer wins. Okay. Bet 10. Let's see what happens when we double down. So we double down. As I explained earlier, in the casino, you get one more card, and that's it. So what happened was I had a value of 15. I doubled down, so I doubled my bet. As you can see, I bet 10 before, it changed to 20, and I got one more card, and that was the total value of my hand, and the dealer actually busted in this case, so it worked out for me. Let's see that happen again. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so I have a 10 and a king. I'm going to stay. B1, great. 10 and a queen, stay for 20. The dealer wins with 21. Okay, so again, I'm going to double down. I have a value of 12. The bet changed to 20. I was dealt a 4 to give me 16, and the dealer wins with the 20. So that is also working. Let's see if we can get the split function working. If we get two cards dealt of the same value. We have 9. Doesn't matter. Okay. We showed you most of these functions earlier. Okay, so this is really cool. What happened was the deck was reset, so our deck reset function is also working properly. So after a certain number of cards are dealt, what happens in the casino is if you're playing with two decks and you get, so that's a total of 52 cards, and so there's 104 cards. So let's say like half the deck has been dealt, and you've actually been keeping track. So check our count. Count is 0. You've actually been keeping track of the count. Well, you can actually say, like, you could do the math if you've memorized the numbers. You can actually do the math, let's say, on a piece of paper, and say, well, there's this amount of probability that this card will be dealt, like a 10 or higher, or a 6 or lower, and you can use that to your advantage to get that edge over the house. So what happens in the casino is, let's say 20 cards are dealt. Well, they have a certain probability that they keep track of that they're going to change the deck out and put in 2 new decks that have been shuffled instead of continuing to playing with those 80 cards. So what we did is we said, well, okay, after, let's say, 10 cards have been dealt, there's a 7% chance that the deck will reset. After 20 cards have been dealt, there's a 15% chance that the deck will be reset. And we continue that, so at some point there's going to be 90 cards that have been dealt to almost the entire deck, and there's like a 100% chance that at that point the deck will be reset. So you're never going to run out of cards. Also, another piece we added is if we run out of money, as you can see here, the game ends and it restarts. So let's see if we can get to that point. And until we get there, let's see if we'll be able to split. So another function that we've also changed is the Blackjack function. So when a king and an ace is dealt, well, the dealer automatically wins, or if the player has been dealt that, then the player automatically wins. So I'm just going to play through this. Hopefully, maybe we can see a deck reset or we lose. Because the count will actually change when so you can see that the count was not 0 before the deck reset, and when the deck does reset, the count goes back to 0. So this is actually a completely and fully functioning blackjack game, which is really awesome. As you can see, I'm trying to click here for 50, but the bet was 50 last hand, and I only have 25 left in the bank, so I can only bet 20. And then the deck was reset. So I guess that was that 7% chance that the deck is reset after less than 10 cards have been dealt. So I have 5 left in the bank. The dealer wins again, and see, now that I only have 5 in the bank, I can't even bet 10. So I'm gonna hit just to lose to show you. Okay, I lost. You're broke. Game reset. Okay, and then the game resets and the deck actually does not reset. So that actually simulates what it's like in the casino, because if you lose, the deck doesn't reset just because you lost. You just put back more money in if you want to continue to play, and then the game continues because typically there's other players. So hopefully after watching this video, you're maybe interested in our game and want to take your cow loan or whatever, go down to the casino, maybe Atlantic City, and then go big time in Las Vegas and be able to get that edge over the house by using our blackjack counting game. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great summer.